Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 118 of Hoagies and Pierogis. I'm your host, Ian DiCarlo, and I'm sorry that I have not been putting out clips. I have a bad case of the Wukong fever. Ooh, that sounded really bad. No, I'm talking about this Wukong. I can definitively say that it is the game of the year for me. Even over college football. Don't hate me. Don't hate me, everyone. I know this is a sports podcast. It's incredible. It's very frustrating. I am about to finish chapter 4 after I record this episode. That is, if I can beat the last boss. I hear he's difficult as hell. So, yeah, let's get into it, everyone. Episode 118, like I said, let's get it on.
Live from Central Pennsylvania with your host, Ian DiCarlo, this is Hoagies and Pierogis.
The ski stash! The ski stash!
Welcome to the Big Ten.
Beecher's going drink, man. Let's go!
I figured it was appropriate to wear a Pirates jersey because this is probably the last episode of the year that we'll go over baseball at length. We're going to go over the past 2 weeks since last week we did. Our episode was just the fantasy draft. So, yeah, I hope that this will just take us to better times when the bullpen wasn't shit in the bed every single goddamn game. It was really bad, and this week was probably the worst loss I have ever seen from them. The worst this year, probably, definitely. So where'd we leave off? I think we left off with Keller having a bounce back start against Texas last time. They won that game 4-0. But then they lost the next one. But then they won 3 out of 4 against Cincinnati. In which, dude, Skeen's pickoff move is the best pickoff move I have ever seen. He got De La Cruz twice this year, and I think that's a feat that no one else can claim. So that was all fine and dandy. They were approaching that, and I was mistaken. It's not 76.5 wins that they have to reach. It's 75.5 wins. So that at least helps my case a little bit more. But especially after this series against the Cubs, it's not looking good. 3 straight losses. They lost the first game 18-8. Second game 9-5. And then the third game 14-10. A game in which they were up 10-3 going into the 7th inning. Teams are 1,192-0 when leading by over the past 7 years when up by 7 runs going into the 7th inning. That's from North Shore 9. I know I did not just look up that stat by myself. It is atrocious, and I really don't see how they can't come out of the year without firing Shelton or Charrington. If they fire Charrington, Shelton is gone too. But if they're going to scapegoat everyone else and just fire Shelton, so be it. There needs to be some change, and I am kind of tired of looking at all these box scores of them being up. Oh, that's a comfortable lead, 6-3. Oh, they're even up 10-3 now. Womp womp. They lose fucking 14-10. How do you do that? How in the world do you do that? And then this is really an homage to Bednar because Bednar was taken out of the closer spot 3 months too late. I mean, what good will it do him now to take him out with fucking 25 games left? 25 games left in the season. Something needs to change, and it needs to start with, honestly, Nutting spending any amount of money. And I will say that forever, for the rest of forever, until Nutting dies. After this year, they're not going to be a part of the lottery. You can only be a part of the lottery for 3 years. So they have I think it's their third year in the lottery. I'm pretty sure it's a lower chance of getting a higher pick. Just lose at this point. I don't give a fuck. I'll throw away that money that I bet on them to hit over 75.5 wins, even though that they should have gotten over that. It's just so goddamn frustrating when you have other sports like fucking basketball, where Steph Curry just got a 1-year, $62.6 million extension, which is more dollars than the A's total payroll. That's right, the whole thing combined. Like I said, this might be the last time we are going over baseball this year. The Pirates have been 5-7 over the past 2 weeks, which isn't terrible. But like I said, they were trending in the right direction until they lost 4 straight games, 3 against the Cubs, and then they lost their first game against Cleveland, 10-8, another game in which they were up late. So, as of the time of this recording, the White Sox have 108 losses, and they just lost last night against the Orioles. So they got at least 2 more games against them. That's bad. 107 losses was the franchise record. MLB most losses in a season is the first thing that comes up when you type in MLB most. Record for losses is 120, belonging to the 1962 Mets when they first became an expansion team.
Yeah, and the truth is, if you have great stuff, you can challenge over the white part of the plate a little bit more and let your stuff just play. If you don't, you better figure out...
Oh, no! Oh, my goodness. The White Sox have just gone full White Sox.
Yeah, they might actually get there. They got 2 more against Baltimore, 3 against Boston, 3 against Cleveland, 3 against Oakland, 3 against the Angels, 3 against San Diego, another 3 against the Angels, and then 3 against the Dodgers, or 3 against the Tigers. Oh, I think they'll lose another 12 games. They're going to get that major league record for losses. That's bad. That's really bad. I mean, hey, at least the Pirates aren't the White Sox, I guess. But like I said earlier, in an earlier episode, I think it's more frustrating to be constantly at like 70 wins. It's just a total hell, a total purgatory. You're not bad enough to suck that it's like fun to go to the games, and you're not good enough to actually make the playoffs. It blows. Okay, I'm excited to go over some football. Let's go over everything. Ladies and gentlemen, we didn't even go over the Week 0 upset of Florida State. And that's okay, because it all comes back around. If you look on the ESPN scoreboard and you look at the Week 1 scores, it has Florida State losing up at the top to Georgia Tech, and then Florida State losing down at the bottom to Boston College. Oh, it's so funny to have the scores bookended by Florida State losing their first 2 games of the season and completely falling out of the top 25. They're the first team since 2008 Clemson to be a top 10 ranked team and fall out of the top 25. I don't know what's up. Their offense can't score any points. Their defense can't. It's not good. I mean, it's not the worst, but it's not good. DJ Ukulele just looks flustered out there, flailing around. I don't understand. Their O-line's horrible. Did a lot of people transfer from Florida State? I don't exactly know what happened. Obviously, Jared Verse and who is it? Someone else, the other guy that was drafted by the Rams. That's a huge loss on their defensive line. But I thought they really had the depth to bandage that up a little bit. 24-21 loss to Georgia Tech. I didn't call the upset, but I took Georgia Tech plus whatever the spread was. And then this one was even worse, 28-13 to Boston College. 6 points in the first half, 7 points in the second half. That's so bad. Oh my God. Okay, so yeah, that was the week 0 game in Ireland, the Georgia Tech game. And then we had a couple boring games here Thursday and Friday. Kansas 48-3, Utah 49-0, Missouri 51-0. NC State won 38-21. That was a little bit closer than it should have been against Western Carolina, I think. Oklahoma 51-3 on Friday. And then we get into the Saturday games. I know that I was looking forward to it, and I was like, oh man, I'm not going to lose either way in this Penn State-West Virginia game. It really felt like I lost. Oh man, I was rooting for West Virginia a little bit more than I was Penn State. West Virginia, well, both of them just looked horrible the first two drives. Fumble, then I think it was like a 3-and-out. It was pretty bad the first quarter. Nothing. And then Penn State, first play of the second quarter, comes out, throws a touchdown, and that was basically the end of it. It didn't help that there was a super long rain delay in here. I don't know what the total time of the delay was, but I thought that they would go back in the locker room and be like, hey, we need to do something. Nothing changed in the second half. I don't know what kind of play calls those were. Jaheim White was getting the ball, or he got the ball once every drive. And every time he got the ball, he ran for 10 yards. And then he ran into one of his teammates, or he ran into someone that his teammate was blocking, and I think he separated his shoulder. But I don't understand why they weren't using him more. It didn't make any sense. Every time he touched the ball, it was for 10 yards, but they only did it once every drive. Now, for Penn State, it was, very encouraging, actually. The defense came out hitting hard. Abdullah Carter is amazing. He's going to be another first-round edge off the board for Penn State. You got Micah Parsons, you got Chop Robinson, you're going to have Abdullah Carter up next. Nick Singleton looked great, 13 carries, 114 yards and a touchdown. Drew Aller actually looked pretty good after the first quarter, 216 yards, 3 touchdowns. That missed offensive pass interference call that let Penn State get a touchdown right before the half really killed any semblance of momentum for West Virginia. There was just no coming back after that. Now, on the drive prior, they did give them a first down, and upon review, they were clearly a yard short, but I don't know how they still gave them West Virginia the first down. They were held to a field goal. It was kind of shitty, like I said, for the offensive pass interference, because that's not really something you can, overturn or review. And it's really not like Penn State had it, or West Virginia had a chance anyway. Miscues all over the place. Sloppy play. Horrible execution on all fronts. It was just not good. Not good at all. That 6.5 win total might be a little bit tougher for them to hit than I thought. Now, I do think that this is at least a little bit encouraging, because if they do play to their full potential, I think they can put up more than 12 points a game. But hey, it's going to be an uphill battle for them. Penn State, though, looked good. Good win on the road.
Blizzard in itself, right, is a wonderful dessert, right, which we should all use in moderation, correct? Okay. In itself looks complicated because it's messy inside, right, and the person working there puts it in the machine and the ice cream. But fundamentally, it's mostly made up of what? Vanilla ice cream. So if you can equate offensive football to your favorite Blizzard, and understanding that what it's going to look like is going to be looking like a messy piece of deliciousness, but fundamentally is composed of really just vanilla ice cream and your favorite candies, right? That's when we talk about simplicity versus complexion, right? So it's going to look really complex, but really at the end of the day, it's just 2 ingredients.
I don't know why people were excited for this game. Clemson against Georgia. Oh my God, Clemson. That was really bad. And we're going to go over the top 25 after this. I haven't looked at it yet, so we'll pull it up. Georgia is still getting the job done. They only scored 6 points in the first half, but their defense dominated. Shouldn't be worried at all. Ohio State 52-6. Oregon. I didn't watch this game, and I didn't see any highlights from it. Oregon only won 24-14 to Idaho. What's going on there? Dylan Gabriel still had 380 yards and 2 touchdowns, but there wasn't really much momentum. A touchdown in the first 2 quarters, and then 10 points in the fourth quarter. That actually, I don't know if Idaho tied it up or not. Let's take a look at that. So if we look at the scores here, Idaho did make it 14-17 at one point in the fourth quarter with 9:45 remaining. With 5 minutes and 15 seconds left. Oh man. What's going on there up in Oregon, huh? All right, Texas crushed it 52-0. Alabama crushed it 63-0. Jalen Milroe. Jalen Milroe to his receiver. 4 + 2 does equal 6.
Can you describe the connection between you and Milroe?
It's definitely, 4 + 2 does equal 6, so that's probably the best thing I can say about it.
Ryan Williams. Dude, this kid is 17 and has veneers. Are you kidding me? Everyone was like, NIL, it's different. NIL, it's different. Yeah, that's crazy. That's insane. All right, then my favorite for winning it all this year, Ole Miss. They did score the most points this week, 76-0 against Furman. Jackson Dart, 418 yards, 5 touchdowns. Their receiver Harris, 8 receptions, 179 yards and 2 touchdowns. Oh, that offense looked explosive. Defense looked great too. Obviously, they were playing Furman, FCS team, so what does that count for? Not too much. This, I think, well, until Sunday, was the game of the week. Notre Dame against Texas A&M. Notre Dame came into Kyle Field, College Station. Everyone was saying before the game, oh, it's so hard to play at Texas A&M. I wouldn't want to play in College Station. Then why do they never win there? Texas A&M never wins at home over the past 2 or 3 years. This was kind of a gimme. Notre Dame was +2.5 at +100. You have to take that. You double your money. You have to take that, and I did, and it was awesome. Notre Dame won that game 23-13, and Ryan Leonard from Duke was facing off against his old head coach from Duke last year, the guy who was like, oh man, yeah, I hope I get an extension on my paper. And he didn't. All right, Michigan, not too explosive, 30-10. Tennessee looked really good. This Amalivia looked amazing. He was throwing bullets, 314 yards, 3 touchdowns. They won 69-3 against Chattanooga. Oklahoma State, I don't know why so many people were like, oh, watch out for the Jackrabbits. Watch out for the Jackrabbits. They were -10.5, and then they shot up to -13, right before the game started. Obviously, they have the best running back in the country. Now, if he's going to get 27 carries per game, that's a little bit worrying. Can he handle that workload for the whole season? I don't know. 104 yards, 2 touchdowns. Ollie Gordon, awesome. Oklahoma State took care of that easily, 44-20. Kansas State 41-6. Miami crushed Florida 41-17. No doubt about that. This Arizona game, oh my God. This was an offensive shootout. 100 points total scored, 61-39 Arizona. But to Tyroa, I think, to Tyroa McMillan, that's what I'm going to say. 10 receptions, 304 yards, 4 touchdowns. Almost had a 5th touchdown, but was tackled at the 1-yard line. 304 yards? Are you kidding me? This is truly video game numbers. Can't say CFB 25 isn't realistic now. And then Iowa actually put up more than 6 points. What? They put up 40 points. Wow. They won 40-0 against Illinois State. Cade McNamara, 251 yards, 3 touchdowns. Doing what he was supposed to do last year. All right. And then we had to wait till Sunday for the game of the week. You have to bet against Brian Kelly. He has 5 losses in his past 6 season openers. How are you that bad to start out the season when you have all year to prepare for it? And he was mad after the game.
And we're sitting here again. We're sitting here again talking about the same things. About not finishing when you have an opponent in a position to put them away. But what we're doing on the sideline is feeling like the game's over. And I'm so angry about it that I got to do something about it. I'm not doing a good enough job as a coach. And I got to coach him better because it's unacceptable for us not to have found a way to win this football game. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I've ever seen someone smack their fist against the table like I do in Wukong sometimes. That was awesome. Miller Mack, Miller Mack, 378 yards. Only threw 1 touchdown, but that's because for some ungodly reason, they did not take a shot at the end zone with 9 seconds left in the first half, and they missed the field goal. So I was like, I'm going to be super pissed if they end up losing by 3 or more points. At that point, they were supposed to be up 13-10. They go into halftime tied at 10. And then, oh my God. This was a great finish. So then LSU's up 17-13 going into the fourth quarter. The wide receivers were going off in this game. Who is it? Lacey for LSU, and then Hudson for USC made some of the most ridiculous grabs I've ever seen. And I thought Travis Hunter's was crazy. I do think Travis Hunter's touchdown was still probably catch of the week, but some of these catches these guys had in this game were not far behind. Especially the first part of the fourth quarter was pretty boring. USC didn't score a touchdown until there was 5 minutes and 44 seconds left. So then LSU went down to the field, scored that field goal to tie the game up 20-20, gave USC a minute 47 seconds left with 1 timeout because they fucked up and had to use 2 of their timeouts pretty early on in the third quarter. But, well, it ended up not mattering. USC marched down the field and converted like every single third down that they had. And then on a long pass to get them into field goal range, targeting on LSU, and that put them even further into field goal range. He missed that chip shot earlier, but I think that was just a fluke. And I was like, oh, okay, well, they're just going to, take the knee or run it to try to get in place to, wherever the place the kicker likes to kick from. Well, they do run it. But instead of just going down in the middle of the field, he runs through LSU's line, and I don't know if they just weren't expecting it or what, but he just marked us straight into the end zone. Game basically over. I think 8 seconds left. 8 seconds left, and he scored that go-ahead rushing touchdown. I loved every second of it. I am so happy college football is back. The main reason I love that one is because I made like 4 separate bets on USC. I don't know what I was thinking, and I would have been really pissed if they lost. But it all came together at the end. We all win in the end. Let's look at this college football. Let's look at this second week's poll. The first one, that really matters. The preseason one doesn't matter at all. Okay, Notre Dame moves up to number 5. They jump Ole Miss. That's not surprising. Texas up 1, Alabama up 1. Oregon down 4 because they played so close against Idaho. Oh, down 4. That's a big loss, even though they won that first game. Holy shit. That makes a lot more sense, though. Missouri up, Michigan down 1 spot since they also struggled a little bit. Miami up 7 to number 12. USC up 10 to number 13. They didn't trade places with LSU, but they took LSU's spot at number 13 there. LSU went down 5 spots to number 18. Iowa up 4 to 21. And then Clemson stays in the ranking. That's shocking. Down 11 spots to number 25. I like this ranking. I think maybe North Carolina State. This is just nitpicking. Clemson should have been ahead of North Carolina State. I mean, they struggled against Western Carolina. Arizona's defense was kind of shoddy, so they didn't make a big jump there. Iowa shutting out Illinois State and scoring 40 points was huge for them. USC's defense looking great made them jump up 10 spots. That was the huge question mark coming into the season was it Alex Grinch? Yes, it was Alex Grinch. So, yeah, Georgia 1, Ohio State 2, Texas 3, Alabama 4, Notre Dame 5, Ole Miss 6, Oregon 7, Penn State 8, Missouri 9, Michigan 10, Utah 11, and Miami 12. I guess we'll just go over the top 12 spots, huh? All right. But, yeah, that is it for college football this week. What other matchups are we I'm forgetting. I'm trying to get back into the groove of football now. Holy shit. What do we got for matchups next week? Penn State Bowling Green, Texas, Michigan. This is the big one. I'm looking forward to that. It's in the big house. All right. Outside of that, I know people might. South Florida might be a popular upset pick next week against Alabama. But yeah, no huge. Outside of Texas, Michigan, no big matchups. No matchups with huge implications. So yeah. All right. That's it for college football. Let's move on to NFL. A couple things happened over the past 2 weeks. I don't think I mentioned this in the last recorded episode, but I did mention it in the fantasy draft very briefly. Jahan Dotson does end up getting traded, but he gets traded to the Eagles and not the Colts. I know I told the story about me having the dream and it being so lifelike that I just rolled like over and scrolled Twitter and saw that Jahan Dotson was traded to the Colts. And I put my phone down, woke back up, and was like, where is that news? Well, it never happened. But he does end up getting traded. He comes with a 2025 fifth rounder with a 2025 third and 2 2025 seventh rounders going back to the Commanders. Another little thing that I think is interesting and will, have an effect on Belichick's career, the Hall of Fame reduced the waiting period for coaches from 5 years to 1 year to be eligible for induction. This makes a lot of sense. You don't want to wait until after they're dead to induct them. I mean, coaches usually go about until, their brain starts going. Players, they can wait 5 years. Unless you have a bad case of CTE. So there are reports that Judon actually stinks in person and that he just puts on a persona online and he's actually very different, like, around the clubhouse. So it was just very refreshing to hear that. Just get rid of him. We don't need any of that toxicity going forward. We are the new Patriots. The Mayo Patriot. Oh, the Javon Baker video. I gotta watch this. This is my first reaction to it.
No reason. The man ain't even, like, I don't even got no police lights. So you gonna walk up on me and give me a ticket. Like, well, what? I'm dropping somebody off at the airport. He gonna walk up on me and say, I got a ticket. Talking about license plate ticket. What? Like, boy. These police officers in Massachusetts, bro. They some hanging ass police officers. They see a track car, they just want to stop them. Come on, bro. Talking about, oh, so you can't run. What the fuck are you talking about, bro? If I wanted to run, I would have ran already. I know you can't catch me. Like, come on, bro.
Oh, you don't want to say that. Oh, no.
My fault, bro.
Now he's reading the paper while he's driving. Oh my god.
Folks just be tripping. Like, come on, bro. Gee, he want to argue with me. I'm going to tow your vehicle. Man, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to get this shit out that. I'm going to get this shit out the same hour you want to tow it, bro. Like, you towing it ain't going to do nothing to me. Like, come on, bro. I got other shit to worry about. He want to goddamn give me a ticket. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Officer Kevin Dow. Like, come on, bro.
Oh.
Why is you doing that, bro? I'm dropping somebody off at the airport. This nigga want to stop me for no reason. He didn't even pull up with no lights on. He just walked up on me. Like, come on, bro. Folks is weird, bro. They gonna start yelling at me and think I'm not finna yell back. Like, who you think you is? Cause you got a police officer that don't mean nothing, bro.
He was yelling back?
Wait, my tax dollars, I pay you. Like, come on, bro.
Wait, what? Dude.
Stop me for my tag cover until my front windshield tint. Like, come on, bro. I'm not going for none of that, bro. So just weird. Oh, weird down here.
Oh, that's that is not a good look at all. Apparently, they handled it internally, but it has no effect on his outcome for playing in week 1, I guess. So You can't be. First off, I guess he was yelling at the cop. Like, you can't be doing that. What the fuck? And second, he was recording himself driving and raiding. What? And being like, yeah, if I wanted to run, I could have. What the fuck? You can't just say that. Come on. Oh man. Please, I just hope that one of Polk or Baker hits. Please, just erase the stigma of the Patriots drafting bad receivers. One of you, please. Javon Baker, please do anything that you can to not get arrested. Do not be another Jack Jones, please. I don't think I went over all of the Patriots cuts that they made, or like the notable cuts that they made before the season started. So they did waive Bailey Zappi. Joe Milton is officially the third QB. Kind of expected. Now Zappi ends up on the Chiefs. Wouldn't that be something if Bailey Zappi ends up coming in and wins them a Super Bowl? That would be a real kick in the ass. And then the Patriots are also releasing the tank commander, Chad Ryland. Let's go. Could have had, I think could have at least tied for second if he would have missed that kick against Denver, which, you know, I'm happy with Drake May. I don't think they would have taken Drake or Jaden Daniels anyway, even if they had the number 2 pick. So that's it. We ended up with Drake May. That's all that matters. And then the last announcement for the Patriots was that Jacoby Brissett will be the starter week 1. Obviously, you have to let him go out there. Let him last as long as he can until he gets hurt, I guess, until the offensive line just, you know, implodes on him, which it will eventually. It might happen week 1. But they gotta do something about that offensive line. I didn't see if they made any additions when other players were cut, but it didn't look like there was too much out there for him anyway. The Chargers got stuck in an elevator, and Jim Harbaugh is like, they are heroes. I congratulate them and applaud them for staying so calm in such a stressful situation. You're probably in some nice-ass hotel, and like all you had to do was climb out onto the top of the elevator. It's not that big of a deal. Big news for the 49ers these past couple weeks. So Ayuk reached his agreement for $120 million over 4 years, and then Trent Williams also reached an agreement on his contract. I do not know the details of that, though. I just saw that earlier, that he was traveling to San Francisco to sign his contract, so he's back. But you sign one, another one gets shot. Ricky Pearsall was shot in the chest during a robbery by a 17-year-old. Man, players from Florida can't have anything nice in the league, whether it's being shot or doing the shooting. Yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ. But seriously, all prayers to Ricky Pearsall. Apparently the bullet made its way all the way through without hitting any vital organs. So extremely lucky. Extremely lucky. Oh, yeah, so this don't wear green thing is 100% real. The Eagles announced that they were wearing their black helmets, white jersey, and black pants. There's going to be barely any green on their jersey at all. The only green that I see is in the numbers. That's it. And man, it is so dangerous. A.J. Brown's scared to go out. Like, they were telling him, like, what you can't do, I guess. And A.J. Brown was getting scared. Yeah, I would be scared too. I can't imagine how the fans feel. I would never, ever travel to Brazil, especially when both of the teams that are in there are green teams. They have green in their uniforms, and you can't wear green in the fucking city? That's terrifying. You can't do that. No. All right, this is going to debut on Thursday, so we got the Chiefs and Ravens up tonight. I'm going with the Ravens. I think they'll get revenge for last year. I just have a feeling. They'll shut out the Chiefs. Lamar, you better rush for 2 touchdowns at least. I'm counting on it for fantasy, man. Come on. Alrighty, everybody. I think that's it. We went through everything on Twitter. Make sure to leave a like and comment and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hoagies and Pierogis is available wherever you listen to podcasts, Spotify, Apple, etc., all the good stuff. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok for clips throughout the week, even though I have not posted clips there the past 2 weeks because I am obsessed with Wukong. Still follow us anyway. All right, everybody, we'll leave you with this. Much.